Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, I am a pirate. You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirates.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
We will get them on. I can promise you that.
Painted purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
Yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down to my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome in to TSO Sunday night as we're 10 days, minus 10 days, less than 10 days away from the kickoff. ECU at NC State, Carter Finley Stadium. We're so excited about it. And let's bring in the man, the living legend. Enjoyed him yesterday. And that's Kyle from LaGrange Barber. So much fun at Media Day with you, bro.
Yeah, dude, it was good. I was going to ask you right before we went live, had you updated the new Open yet?
I didn't know that it was
not.
good.
We still have Bubba.
Yeah, I've got.
Huh?
I'll work on it after the show.
Yeah, Bubba sent it to us. Yeah, we got to get that up there. But anyway, Media Day yesterday. A lot of fun. Good talking to all the coaches and players. Shout out to everybody running it yesterday. I thought it was well ran. I thought everybody had the opportunity to talk to all the coaches and players they wanted to. There was enough time. Unfortunately, I arrived about 10 minutes late because of a stupid-ass detour on Greenville Boulevard. So I missed the Blake Harrell press conference, but Dave and JR were able to take part. They're going to cross that line there. Malcolm kept looking over at me like, you better not walk any further and try to come in here now that the press conference has started. Meador texted me. I was like, come on in here and ask a question. I said, I can't. Malcolm said, I'm late. I can't come in. So, but that's okay. Everything. It was really well done. I appreciate the time allotment that was, what we get 2.5 hours.
15.
Plenty of time to talk and interview. I got 14 interviews in. So, hats off to ECU. They did a good job running that yesterday.
Yeah, as we bring in Johnny Robertson, we'll get to Stevie in just a second. Miss Stevie really bad because he was working. He's a grown-up and the rest of us are not. But anyway, Johnny, welcome in. And I tell you, let me add to that. I'm glad you stole my thunder a little bit, Kyle, but I'm glad to hear you say that. They did a great job. And the reason why is the last time Kyle from LaGrange Barber was at a media day was 2019, our very first one. And the sad thing is, like I've said before, one thing I can compliment Scotty Montgomery on one thing. Well, two things. One was he talked about ad nauseum about the indoor practice facility. We appreciated that from him. And the other thing was, if you're a member of the media, Scotty Montgomery will let you talk to any player you wanted to. You had I wouldn't say 100% access, but I will give Scotty Montgomery credit for that. Okay. So imagine how we feel when, we're happy, Houston's there in 2019 and he does the normal 2 hours and 15 minutes. COVID happens. And then it just, it went downhill with Houston. Houston was great when you first met him. And then it got worse and worse and worse. So anyway, Johnny, I want to say thank you to Malcolm. Thank you to all the SID department. They did an outstanding job. That's the best media day since 2019. And let me be careful and clear. It had nothing to do with the guys, the men and women of that department. They do a wonderful job. They're very good to us. It had to do with the fact that it was Houston. So,
Houston was a bit of a stick in the mud when it came to that kind of thing, it seemed. And I agree with you, Dave. But yesterday, Blake, allowed full access to the assistant coaches and the players. And good job by Malcolm and everybody else running things. And JR, that was your first experience of media day.
Wow. Yeah, not what I expected at all.
What did you expect? Let me ask you, what did you expect, by the way?
Well, first of all, it was just so low key. Like there was no stress. Everybody, I don't want to keep repeating what you two have already said, but everybody was so welcoming, and it was just a low stress situation where everybody was accessible. Like you could ask him and spend as much time with them. Even like I went and I spoke to Blake after he, finished with some interviews, and he was just standing there, he entertained some of my questions. Luke, the GM, came up and spoke to me, and I just felt like I don't know that this happens in other universities this size, where it's just such an all-inclusive, friendly, atmosphere. So, I mean, I loved it. Dave and I teamed up because it was my first time. So, we kind of did interviews together, and I think I slowed you up a little bit, Dave, but Kyle was a machine. And I mean, I was really amazed at how Kyle, you could talk to somebody that you knew nothing about. They could have invented a player and put him on the table, and you've had a great interview.
Are you talking about
JR, it's about starting the interview with open-ended generic questions and then playing off what they say.
I learned that trick from you. Yeah, I definitely was taking notes. And, next time I will be better prepared. I didn't even realize that everybody could wear shorts. That was kind of, that was kind of cool and blended to the casual atmosphere. But,
I wore jeans.
I remember.
I didn't have a polo on, Johnny.
I mean, I wore long pants too because I didn't know what to expect. But it far surpassed. I knew it would be fun, but I mean, that could have been the event of the season for me. Like for the summer, that was nonstop entertainment, and I'm just impressed with every player I spoke to, every coach I spoke to.
I'll tell you what. I'm sorry.
I was just going to finish up, Dave, by saying, I'm sure some of these players got the same question over and over and over again. And there were probably some dumb questions asked as well. And they're so patient. They'll answer it anyhow with a smile on their face. Nobody's bored. It was just, I think it's just all goes back to Blake. It was just a great experience.
And Dave, hold on 1 second before you hold your thought, if you don't mind, and then we'll bring in Stevie also. But speaking of media day, if you go to YouTube, go to the Sports Objective page, or just simply search 2025 East Carolina Media Day. The 14 interviews I did, me and Stevie produced them and got them out today. So they are on YouTube right now. Just go to our YouTube page or just search 2025 East Carolina Media Day, and it'll come up. So the 14 interviews I did, which included John David Baker, Josh Aldridge, Caden Hauser, on and on and on. There's 14 different players and coaches. They're out, and then the interviews that JR and Dave did, we will be getting out as soon as possible. Dave has been busy; he's got those files. But Media Day Part 1 is out. Again, me and Stevie produced it today. The 14 interviews I did. Just go to YouTube. Type in 2025 ECU or 2025 East Carolina Media Day, or just simply go to our page and you'll find them.
Wow.
Cindy
I thought she was giving you a compliment at first, Kyle, but I don't know.
Kyle asked the right questions for a change. My hubby even agreed. Now, Cindy normally is complimentary of me.
I don't know what happened there. What was that?
Because for a change.
Her first one was talking about how good you did.
I think maybe she was saying for a change, her husband agreed. Maybe Cindy's a fan of her husband.
Maybe that's it. You need to put a comma in there.
No, I think look at this. This is the first one. No, I think what she's saying is the way I took it was the fact that she always is complimentary of you, Kyle, she and her husband, because of the fact that you always ask the questions that people want to ask and everybody's afraid to ask. And I think the way I took it is. She said no. Kyle did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's saying the right questions were asked for a change. I guess.
Yeah. She's saying. Are you saying for a change your hubby even agreed because he usually doesn't agree.
No, I think what she's saying is, Stevie, is the right questions were asked for a change. I think.
Yes, Kyle asked the question.
Trying to stir something up here, Kyle. Come on.
People want. I appreciate that, Cindy, very much. Thank you. I hope everybody else agrees.
No, the biggest thing is she said her husband said that you did a great job. Well, that's the thing is that this year was awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards.
Yes, this year was awesome because I had Kyle. Let me give a shout out to your wife, Jessica, Johnny, the four of us. Man, I tell you what, I felt very good because the people in the past, Al Cannon and Alan Vick, they help us out. They do a great job. It wasn't them. It was a matter of fact. It was just the fact that it's like you couldn't even think because you're going, oh my God, I'm with him, but I need to get the other player. I need to get this coach. The coaches, like I was lucky to get 4 or 5 coaches, a handful of players, but anyway, Stevie, we missed you, man, and great job by ECU with the job yesterday. 2 hours and 15 minutes. I know you guys think about what's the difference between an hour and a half and 2 hours and 15 minutes. That extra 45 minutes gives us a lot of content. Also want to give a shout out to Blake because I felt like, guys, I know that Johnny's your first, but you were talking about it was definitely more relaxed. I would love to ask the media how they felt. Kyle, you've been there before, but
I thought it was very relaxed. You know, you just
low key.
If there was 2 or 3 people standing waiting for a coach or a player, you just walked over and found a player that had one person interview them, waited and stepped up and did your interview. It was very low key, very relaxed. I think there was one time where me and JR, I don't even know who the people were doing the interview, but me and JR got too close to somebody else's interview and a young lady asked us to step back. But besides that, I thought everything else was very low key and, everybody took their turn and was, very kind. And, I agree. Low key is the right word. I didn't think, and granted, I didn't try to overdo it on time with anybody. I think my longest interview was 7 minutes. I tried to keep everything 5 minutes or less. I think everybody else kind of took the same approach, at least from what I saw.
Yeah, I think also the fact that we keep talking about how the players say, "Hey, we're a family," we're all brothers and all that. It felt that way, to be honest with you. Like even with the other media members, it just felt like everybody was on the same team and everybody was just, I know that it sounds ridiculous, but it felt like a huge family all working together. It was great.
Yeah. And one of the great things is the media is fun to see.
Who's the girl that told me and you to back up, JR? Who was she with? Do you even
that
was she with Fire Radio?
Yeah, exactly. Jenny.
Oh yeah, Jenny Shelton, yeah.
Yeah, and we were probably in the background. She didn't want us there, so
that's all right. We were doing. Look, hey, as much as I've done for Pirate Radio with zero compensation or even much thanks, I can be in their video. So
you'll be like Tony Katane in the White Snake video. We'll put you on the hood of a car.
Yeah, speaking of video, Jessica shot all the interviews I did, but I found the sound quality. I just threw my phone on the table. And I found the sound quality was better just with the audio interviews than what Jessica shot. So I went with audio only, but I do have video of all the interviews. If anybody wants any of that released, I can release them. But I thought the audio quality was more important than having video.
Kyle, you were 100% correct on that. I learned a lesson also as far as, I think Dave mentioned Jessica earlier. Well, Jessica's technique and my technique were different, and hers was more effective because I was standing too far away, like from the table. I was getting everybody in the shot, but the audio was, not what it could have been. And Jessica got much closer and picked up better audio. So I learned a lot.
I didn't use it, Johnny, but she did. The audio is not bad on the video. She did. It's not as good as just my straight audio from my phone. So that's what I used. But the real reason I didn't use her videos is because she would start shooting as soon as I sat down. And a lot of when I first sat down, I would be like, let's say it was Josh Aldrich. Josh, I'm Kyle Barber. I'm with the Sports Objective. Good to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And then I'd do the official introduction for the interview. She started recording as soon as I sat down. So that's another thing to release those videos. I need to go back and edit them and get all that stuff out.
That's the director's cut. That would be great. Right?
No.
Director's cut.
Some of it's goofy because I'm making jokes that a lot of people aren't going to get. But but anyway, I released the audio. I like what me and Stevie put out. I encourage everybody to go check it out on YouTube.
Hey, Stevie. What I say is that if you want the director's cut, then you're gonna have to. We got to make a paywall.
We're gonna do a
Patreon. We got to do
Patreon. Yeah, we're gonna do Patreon. Yeah. We'll do the director's cut videos where
if you want to see behind the scenes with Kyle, go to Patreon.
Hey, our good friend Craig from Richmond. We need to.
No, Craig's from the Fredericksburg. FBX.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fredericksburg.
He's on the Rappahannock, not the James.
Stafford County.
Hey, we need to get someone to hold a boom mic for you guys. Let's take this podcast to the next level. Craig, are you volunteering? I see Craig right now holding a boom mic for us. That'll be great. All right. Here's another one for you guys. I guess they want us to get into talking about NC State. One of the alums of the Sports Objective, Brennan Shapiro, engaged Brendan Shapiro. Hey, guys, how are we feeling about NC State moving closer to week 1? Can I get some score predictions?
Oh, geez.
Hey, did you see? Sorry, Kyle. Did you see the comment up a little bit further up about?
Oh yeah,
Cameron. Apparently, NC State running back Jonathan Taylor blew his knee out the last scrimmage. Will miss the ECU game.
Well, I hate to hear that. Any kid blow his knee out, honestly. But
wow.
But I want to say that before we start making predictions too.
Is that their starting running back?
Now, Paylor's the guy that has all the speed and wasn't used too much last season, and they were like, this is his breakout year, and they were going to get him in space and use his speed. So that's kind of a relief.
It's definitely to our advantage, but I hate to see a kid blow his knee out like that.
Second string running back.
Okay. But to answer Shapiro's question, I don't want to give a score prediction yet, Brennan. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I will say that.
Yep.
If you ask me today, I would probably – it's going to be hard. To give an honest prediction, I would probably take NC State like 38-31. But nothing's going to surprise me in that game. It would not surprise me at all if we win it. Not one bit. I do think it'll be. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I'll say that on both sides. I think both teams are going to put up a lot of points.
Hey, Kyle, is that line? You guys, is that line still 11.5?
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I think it'll come down to about 8.5 by game time.
It should have gone down after they announced a uniform selection for that game.
I don't hate those uniforms, honestly. No, Kyle, no, we got to be. Well. Yeah, you know what? We beat them in the bowl game, which I think counts to a lot. I think Doran's got this one circled.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to beat State. I want to beat State, but that doesn't make or break our season. Look, if we lose to NC State and go 11-1, who's going to give a damn?
That's what I said.
But honestly, if you look at this team and this defense has got way too many moving parts, way too many inexperienced players. We got some older players who are not used to playing together, too many transfer pieces. Defensive line, older guys, but they haven't played a lot. I think our defense is going to take several weeks to come together. So, can we beat State? Abso-friggin-lutely. But, I break the season down as a lot of coaches do in quarters. So you look at those first 4 games. For me, those first 4, you come out of there 2-2, we'll be in good shape. 3-1 will be in excellent shape. But I'm certainly not saying we can't beat State. We definitely can beat State. But right now, if you ask me, this is an unofficial score prediction. I'd say NC State 38, East Carolina 31.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the things that I've talked to you guys before is I could see it. I'll say it like this before. I agree with you, Kyle. We're not going to give out our predictions just yet because it'll be a week from Wednesday. We'll have our preview, right? So that means that's a tease in our business. So why would you watch the preview when you know what we're going to say? But First of all, 11.5 points is way too high. I see this game, honestly, I agree with you 1,000%, Kyle. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it could be like a 4-point swing either way. If I had I think it's more fair to say maybe, like you said, 7-8 points. I don't agree with 11.5. I think that if nothing else, take the points if you're a betting person. And I'm the last person to take betting advice from, but I do believe that it is way too much, way too many points. I think it's very disrespectful, especially when I would give the edge to NC State because it's a home game. However, they've lost as many people as we have thanks to the transfer portal. And you know what? I think that and you have John David Baker with a second-year QB and Caden Hauser. You got a man. We're going to talk about that, but guys, I am really stoked about the number of weapons we have on either side of the ball. I really am. I agree with Kyle on there's some issues that we could talk about defense, and I'm a lot harder on the defense than I am on the offense normally anyway. But as far as offensively, did you guys notice how big the offensive linemen that we had? Johnny, you and I were there.
Yeah, I made a comment to McCrimmon that I said, dang, you gained 19 pounds last season before the season started. Now you gained 19 pounds again before this season, and you look trim. Like that all that weight went to the right place. He's like, yes, sir. He's ready to go, man.
The strength and conditioning thing to me is a bit of it's interesting. They seem very happy with where they are conditioning wise. They seem to think everybody's in better shape. And that's crazy to me because, you know, you had, oh God, who was the guy here under Houston forever? I'm sorry.
Big John.
Yeah, John Williams. You know, he was out of here at the end of December. They fired him. Then they brought in the guy who was the assistant at Rutgers, who was the strength and conditioning coach at Louisville, who was at App at one point, who was a absolute psychopath. And you know, had a background in the history of being a psychopath. We knew some things about him we can't say publicly because it's not public information that was shared with us from some folks we know. And this was before whatever happened at ECU that got his ass fired. But so you bring in that psycho, who I think is a good strength coach. He's just a psycho, and he's gone. And now we, you know, then in March we brought in our current strength coach, whose name is escaping me. Guys' names is not my strong suit. Help me out.
Baggett, right? Mason
Baggett. Yes,
yeah.
Coach Baggett. Mason Baggett comes in, and I think he is the right fit. He'd been here before under Connors and under Jeff Golden. He knows the culture. You know, he had been a head strength and conditioning coach at multiple places. Was the head assistant strength and conditioning coach at Virginia Tech. Had just went back to his alma mater and had the opportunity to come be the head strength coach here. I think he's done a great job. If he's been able to take over that mess where you had two different strength coaches, you know, in December and January, and then I don't know who was running things up until he got here in March. But if he's done that good of a job since March, then Mason Baggett is a hell of a strength coach. And I know I talked to some former players that were here when he was an assistant strength coach, and they all loved him. Brandon Simmons, who's a friend of the podcast, had nothing but positive things to say about Mason Baggett. So if he's got these guys in better shape than they've been over the last several years, and he had to take over that mess, you know, in March where he was his strength coach number 3 in a matter of 4 months, then Mason Baggett's got a bright future.
And guys, by the way, right now I want to let you know that the Pirates just took the lead over NC State. We're hosting the Pirates hosting the Wolfpack in Greenville, 1-0 soccer. It's around the 59th minute. So,
women's soccer, Pirates versus Wolfpack.
Wow,
that's a big
that's
deal.
our ex-coach.
Yep, Gary. Sorry, Gary, but you should have left us.
59-minute mark. How long do they?
90 minutes. 90.
All right, so we're about a half hour away from upsetting the Wolfpack in soccer.
Yeah, sorry, Gary, but you shouldn't have left.
Or maybe he should have. Maybe he should have.
Yeah, now here we go. So anyway, talking football, I'm really excited. What did you? Well, you guys, one of the things I know, Kyle, you had a chance. One of the players that really stood out to me, and we're missing our good friend Matt Semenza. he and Johnny are experts on the transfer portal. Man, Mike Wright.
Yeah, by the way, I was mentioning that before you asked the question, Dave. I promoted Matt being on the show tonight. Matt was debating coming on tonight. He is vacationing at the beach in Rhode Island, at a venue at a vineyard somewhere.
He's somewhere out there sipping tea.
Yes, sipping something. But Matt will be back with us next week. So if anybody's looking for some Menza, he'll be back next week. But Dave, what player were you going to ask about?
Well, the player that you talked about, you interviewed, I agree. I shook his hand and talked to him and welcome to Greenville. I was really impressed with Mike Wright overall as a person, but hearing good things that we've heard about him, I wanted to get your take. But Mike,
go check out that interview.
Kyle, that was the best interview you had out of the 14.
Yeah, and a lot of that was because of Mike Wright. But go check that out. It's on the YouTube video, or they're posted individually on SoundCloud links over on our Facebook page also, if you just want to listen to the Mike Wright interview. But Mike's a hell of a guy. He's well-spoken. He's well-educated. You know, he transferred here from Northwestern. He also played at Vanderbilt, so clearly a smart kid. Very well-spoken. You know, he didn't show his hand at all. He playing the company line of JDB. You know, he has no idea how he's going to be used. He don't know if he's going to be used at quarterback or running back or special teams. Apparently at practice they just have him twiddling his thumbs because he doesn't know. He didn't have a clue how he's going to be used. But they're clearly keeping this Mike Wright thing under wraps. But a very intelligent guy, well-spoken guy. I wish I'd have kept recording. Him and my wife, Jessica, had a very nice conversation afterwards. She, asked him about his personal life, what his major was. He has already got a degree. He's working remotely, actually, for a company out of Atlanta. I don't know if he minds me telling that on the air. But he's a very intelligent guy with a very bright future, and really just, said he wanted to come somewhere. He had 1 year of eligibility left. He didn't think he was going to have 6 year of eligibility. He just wanted to come somewhere where he liked the culture and he could have fun. And he said he loves it here in Greenville, loves the culture. He said, every day at practice, he just smiles. He said he loves everybody here. He needed the break from the big city, being in Nashville and in Chicago at Northwestern. So he loves hearing birds chirp again. So Mike Wright is a very likable dude, and looking to see what he can add to this offense, because God knows he's fast, and a guy with starting experience in the SEC at quarterback. Make no mistake about it, Hauser is the man at quarterback, but I'll be shocked if we don't see Mike Wright taking some snaps under center early in the year.
I agree, Kyle. Hey, I got to speak to him a little bit as well off the record, and everybody that I know, like Clip Brock said that was his favorite interview. And I didn't interview him, but I spoke to him, and man, when you say he loves Greenville, he was like over the top expressing his love for Greenville. And I asked him about what his role would be, and he kind of said, JDB, he's a genius, and he does things that nobody would expect him to do. So I have no idea how I'm going to be used. He said, but I know with JDB, it's going to be in the right way, and I'm looking forward to it, and I will perform when I get my chance. And I was like, wow, that's a great answer.
That's basically what he told me. And
he's definitely going to be on the field. There's no way you can have a kid that talented and that special and have him on the side.
I'll tell you somebody else I really liked their interview. Not that they were overly, let me say this right. Not so much for they didn't have the presence Mike Wright had. They just came across as very genuine in terms of new players and like a very likable guy. Parker Jenkins, the running back from Houston, very likable, very look you in the eye when he's talking, kind of smiling when he talks to you, very genuine. And I really liked his answer. When I asked him, with the production he put up as a freshman at Houston, why he didn't see the field very much last year, I really liked his answer to that. So, again, I encourage everybody to go check that interview out with Parker Jenkins and Lyndon Montgomery. Listen to Parker's answer for that question. It's a very well thought out answer, and it's a very honest answer. And I really enjoy talking to him.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, that was my favorite interview that you did. the one with London, Montgomery, and Jenkins, because I got to be on there as well. So I appreciate you. I hate it.
Like literally, he said, "What should I do?" I said, "Just
whoa." Yeah, I didn't have enough for a full interview, but I did want to ask a few questions, and I appreciate you letting me do that.
Oh, absolutely. You scared the shit out of me. You stepped over my shoulders like, I want to. Oh, Jesus. But,
hey, Kyle, I do have a question for you about
the
interviews. I didn't get to ask you while we were talking today. Did any of these guys say anything about the reputation or ask you, are you Kyle from LaGrange from the fifth quarter?
No. Nobody did. I introduced myself as Kyle with the sports objective. I think Caton knew who I was. I've talked to Caton a couple times in the past. I think he knew exactly who I was. But the raising hell Kyle from LaGrange, it was a little bit of that early last year, but right now I'm kind of I'm not an enemy of the state right now. I kind of promoted. I was all in on Blake, and whether it works out or not, he deserves the opportunity because he earned it. So right now, I think everybody's cool with me. So, but there has been players in the past. I God knows, and me and Rajay have patched things up, thankfully. But I upset Rajay not this past season, but the previous season, that horrible 2023 season, and didn't realize I'd upset Rajay until this past season. And thankfully, he and I have patched things up along with him and his dad. I also had a conversation with Rajay's dad. So there has been times where, I have upset players and I've upset coaches, and I'm sure it'll happen in the future. But
no athletic directors or
athletic directors I've upset many times. But to answer your question, Stevie, no, none of the players said anything. I did kind of, and maybe it was just me being paranoid. I did think early on Malcolm was watching me. Malcolm Gray. Maybe again I was just being paranoid. I
gotta feel like somebody's.
He
was. He
was. There you go. JR noticed it too.
I definitely did.
But hey, I think I made a good impression on Malcolm yesterday. So
absolutely.
Dave had to have a meeting about me with Malcolm a couple years ago. So
wow.
I've pissed people off over the years.
Well, the issue was about how we have our own platform, right? Like we're doing the show tonight. And so the administration, apparently, I don't know if it was Houston who, but they're like confused because Kyle from LaGrange is on the sports objective, but yet he's calling in the fifth quarter a completely different media.
That's his.
I do that on my personal time, and I think some of the things I said on the fifth quarter because they have a bigger audience, piss people off, and that's raw emotion. That's right after games, and and a lot of times I don't get up there and promote the podcast, but I think the more people that are aware of me, then by virtue of that would be aware of the podcast. But anyway, I did notice, and JR noticed also Malcolm watching me, and like I said, I think I hopefully made a good impression on him yesterday, and hopefully he realizes I am sane. I do know how to act.
Hey Dave, I got a Malcolm Gray story from yesterday. So I had poor clock management yesterday. JDB was available, but I was doing other interviews, and I had some good stuff for him.
Did Robert finally? Sorry, Joe. Who's Robert asking to be quiet?
I don't know.
Don't you remember when the people from housekeeping were loud and there was a press conference going on, and Malcolm said, "Could you be quiet, please? Thank you."
Okay, all right. I was like, Robert, are you asking me to be quiet? What the hell?
We're bringing out Kyle fans everywhere. Look at that. Look at this one, Kyle.
Jonathan, I like hearing Kyle's opinion. Thanks, Kyle. Voice of the fans.
Wow.
Thank you, Jonathan.
We all bleed purple and gold. Thank you, Kenny. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyhow, to finish up this Malcolm Gray story, I kind of lost track of time. I was doing another interview. Then I finally see, someone's doing an interview with JDB, and I'm just waiting. And they kept asking more questions. And I was like, dang. And then they finally got up and, moved away. And I'm moving into the table, and Malcolm Gray comes in like I just hit a 3-pointer after the time expired and like waved it off. He was like, no, time's up. You can't ask him any questions. And I was like, oh boy. So I followed JDB to the elevator and asked him some questions off the record. And he was very accommodating. But yeah, I didn't get my interview because Malcolm definitely waved me off.
I wonder also if he saw me interviewing him, realized we were together, and said, all right, they already have content with him. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be.
No, I think it was just the fact that he was trying to get the coaches out of there. I don't think that was the case, but it was so much fun. Stevie, I told Stevie, it's always the middle Saturday of August. We got to have you, brother, because I did miss you, and I miss Bubba and Matt. I'll say that too. Love to have them there.
Hey, can I give Bubba props? Because Bubba texted me some very good questions that I was able to ask, and I guess by proxy Bubba was there through me. But yeah, I mean he's very good at knowing what to ask, so I appreciate his help.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me the media as a whole is growing. I love that fact. I love the fact that we have the best fans in the world. Things just felt right yesterday. And let me give a shout out, by the way, guys, to, I don't get paid by Blake Harrell, but Blake has always been very nice to me and a lot of other people. And that's why we were rooting really hard for him. Not only is he a good coach, but he's a great guy. And he loves to be in Greenville. I mean, that is like so cool to have a guy that he doesn't take himself seriously. I think the fact that he answers all our questions, I think it was 26 minutes or something like that. We had a decent amount of time with him yesterday, not to make it all about media day and sucking up to everybody at ECU. But when they do a good job, we're going to tell you they do a good job. And one of the things I wanted to say to Kyle is, going back to that, is people don't understand that when things are going well, Kyle is not like some of the fans that drive me crazy. And I told you this, Kyle, yesterday at lunch. We'll talk about it in a second. How at lunchtime, how on the fifth quarter, when things are going right, you're not going to hear Kyle do cutting wrestling promos. And that's what people think. That's not all the truth.
No, I'm not like that when things are going. Here's the thing, Dave. When have I screamed and hollered and said somebody needed to go where they didn't end up going?
Right.
Jeff Confer, gone.
Cecil.
Cecil
Are you listening?
Staten, Cecil Staten, gone. Scotty Montgomery, gone. Mike Houston, gone. So I don't, I won't screaming for Ruffin to be fired. I didn't start screaming for Houston to be fired until, not even the 23 season. It was the start of the 24 season because of the 23 season. So, yeah, I think some people think I'm negative drama or whatever, and I'm not trying to make it about me. Who cares? Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about ECU football. One thing yesterday we didn't get to talk about at Media Day was special teams. I didn't see any kickers. If any of the kickers or punters were out there, I didn't interview them.
No, they were not
there. JR, I know this is a topic that we really need to discuss, is the kicking and punting battle. So I'm going to pitch it over to you and let you kind of lead this topic.
Okay, so punting, I just know it's between, the Australian and the guy from Florida. Ryan Levy's from Florida and Thomas O'Halloran is from Australia. I'm not, Kyle.
I think it'll be Levy.
I'm good with the kickers. The kickers are my guys. That's who I'm following, the kickers. The punters, not so much. So I can't help you with the punters, but kickers, it was an interesting dynamic last year because, Andrew Conrad, he started off the season as our kicker for the first 4 games, and he was both doing place kicking and he was kicking off. And then, he had like a couple missed field goals, one against App State, and we only lost that game by 2 points. And he missed a 36-yarder, but they kept him as the kicker for Liberty, and then he missed a 25-yarder. I mean, when you get inside the 10-yard line and you don't score, that's not good. It would have made the score 20-0 if he would have made it, and we ended up losing that game as well. So at that point they went to Noah Perez, And then against UTSA, he was perfect, 3 for 3 in field goals and extra points. Charlotte, he was perfect. Army, he was perfect. And then Temple, he missed an extra point. And then they went back to Andrew Conrad. And so at Temple, he didn't have any field goal attempts, but he was 5 for 5 for extra points. And then FAU, he did miss a field goal. And then they kept him in there. And at Tulsa, he missed an extra point. And I was like, he's gone. Man, there's no way he's coming back for North Texas. But he did.
You're about Conrad at this point or Noah?
And no, he was perfect at North Texas. And then the Navy game, the last game of the regular season.
Who is he? Are you talking about Conrad or Noah?
I'm talking about Andrew Conrad right now.
Conrad, okay.
Yeah. So basically, Kyle, Conrad started the first 4 games. Noah came in for the next 4 games. And then they put Conrad back in there. And in Navy, he missed a very short field goal. And after that, for NC State, they put Noah back in. Yeah. And, he did make a 42-yarder, which, believe it or not, that's his career long, 42 yards. That's not, very good range. But he ended his season missing a field goal that would have made it 23-7. And he missed it. So, I don't really know where it stands as far as who's the favorite coming in. And obviously Nick Mazzy from New Hampshire.
That's your favorite. Yeah, he was all CAA, and he's got a big leg.
But here's the thing. His 2 longest field goals are 52 yards, but he's had 4 field goals blocked. Noah and Andrew have never had a field goal block, and they've never had a kickoff go out of bounds. But Nick, he's had 4 field goals blocked, but he does have good range, 2 52-yarders. He's the funny thing is he's 7 inches and 67 pounds heavier than Noah is. And it shows because he's made 8 tackles, 7 of them solo. So, hope you don't want your kicker making tackles, but he's, as a kickoff guy, he makes tackles. But I really feel like our kickoff guy is not going to be him. It's going to be oh boy, I don't know, Kyle. Come back to me. How about that? Come back to me. Well, look at the name of the kickoff guy because he didn't have any stats.
Kenny has a great one here. The kicking game has always been a pain in our at ECU.
Yeah, the kid from New Hampshire. You just said his name a minute ago. Big kid. He had a great year last year. He was all CAA last year, perfect on extra points. And I think was like 8 of 11 for field goals, something like that, last year. So he's coming off a great year in the CAA. I expect him to win the job over Noah and over Conrad. But it's competition. You got 3 kickers there, all 3 experienced. So you can use multiple kickers. We've done it in the past. The kickoff guy, I can't think of his name either. I know who you're talking about, JR.
I know. But here's the deal, Kyle. After week 4, week 5 was UTSA was week 5. And after that, Andrew Conrad, not only did he lose his starting kicking job, but he never kicked off again because once the mystery kicker entered the scene, he held on to that position because he was very efficient. No kicks out of bounds, a lot of touchbacks. And as soon as I find his name, we can praise him. Everett Scott. Yeah,
and he's back, and he'll be kicking off again. The question,
yeah, absolutely, he's the kickoff guy. There's no doubt about that.
The question is, go ahead.
Matthew was 18 for 23 in field goals last year.
18 for 23. There you go. So he kicked a lot of field goals too. Yeah, perfect for extra points. So he was asked to kick a lot last year. The 4 blocks is interesting. That could be a snapper issue. Up there at New Hampshire, but
it could be an offensive. It could be a line issue too.
Exactly.
If you can't get off a field goal, without seeing it, I would know. But it could be a line issue. Could be a snap issue.
Well, you would think a kid that big who has made a 52 yarders would not have a low trajectory, which is what you think of with a kick being blocked. Stevie, as a high school coach, have you ever seen a kid with a big leg have a low trajectory?
Kyle, we have never had a kid with a big leg at Northeast. But,
well, you've played other teams.
Yeah. Gosh, no, not really, because the best kickers we went up against was like St. David's. And this kid, this was like 2011, 2012. He would boom the kickoffs. I mean, no lie. You didn't see kickoffs coming to the 20 because our kids would come up to like the 30, 35. This guy was booming them to like the 15 to the 10 every time. Doing it just enough where it wasn't a touchback, but enough to, where we would have to field it and have crappy field position. But yeah, I've never seen one with a low trajectory with a big leg.
Big leg, yeah. So that's my guess is what's his name, Stevie, the kid from JR, the kid from New Hampshire.
Nick Mazzy.
Yeah, Nick Mazzy.
Mazzy. My guess is Mazzy's going to win the starting kicking position.
I agree.
And then at punter, I think it'll be the transfer from Duke, who was their backup punter. He did a great job at Furman. Unless the Aussie just looks really good because he's going to be here for a while, whereas the kid that transferred from Duke's a senior, I believe. I would expect the punter will be the transfer from Duke, who was a former starting kicker at Furman.
Yeah. Hey,
punter,
Kyle,
I should say.
I would like to give a disclaimer at this point. I'm down here in Greenville, and I left all of my notes in Virginia, so I'm going from memory. And
you're doing damn good.
Give me a break there with that.
JR, you're fine, man. Look, and as far as anybody else, I'm horrible.
Hey,
if anybody's listened to me over the last 7 years, names are not my strength. I can tell you everything about the kid. I can tell you the kid transferred here from Duke. Before that, he was a starting punter at Furman. He's a senior. He put up great, numbers at Furman as a punter. Competed for the starting job at Duke last year. Barely got beat out for it, but I can't tell you his name. It's just how my brain works. I remember facts about people, players, but names just do not stick with me for whatever reason.
So Cindy has a question, and I put her in the penalty box, by the way, because she said, "Hey guys, I had to leave you." And I asked her, "Why did she leave us?" She should have been with us. She said she had to make supper, but anyway, she said we may have talked about how do our safety and cornerbacks look. State loves to pass the ball. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a fear for me. I think at safety we're good.
Yeah.
Segan Wilkes is back. Segan, did a great job here at safety before, and then the other kid that is having a monster spring, guys. What's his name? Again,
Lowry.
No, Jamarly.
Yeah,
Jamarly Riddle. Yeah, Jamarly Riddle is having a monster spring at safety. So I think our starting safeties with Riddle and Tegan Wilkes were going to be fantastic. The question's corner, and you got Jordy Lowerly, who was a hell of a corner at Western Carolina at the FCS level. He's competing for one of the starting jobs. The kid from ODU, guys, help me out with his name.
Not Jonathan Jean. Rashid Reason.
Yeah, Rashid Reason looks like he's got one of those corner positions locked down. He's going to be one of our starting corners. We got some other pieces out there. I think at safety we're going to be good. I think at corner,
I think Jonathan Akins is probably the other corner. I'm thinking.
Yeah, most likely. I think at corner, I think we'll be okay. But game one against NC State, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna blitz a lot. I think so. We're gonna have some corners kind of out on islands, so they're gonna have to make plays. But to answer your question, Cindy, I feel really good about safety. I'm nervous about corner.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle, you said something yesterday that I think applies here. If there's not a lot of separation between your first and second teamers, that could be interpreted as a good thing, but it's probably really not. It's probably actually a bad thing. And I think at cornerback,
I agree.
There's 4 or 5 guys with not a lot of separation.
Yeah, Cindy's asking.
Yeah, and Jordy Lowerly, just listen to people talk. I'm a little surprised. I really thought Jordy Lowerly would stand out in spring or in fall camp rather. And he may be a gamer. He may get out there and play awesome. I saw him play against NC State last year in his first ever start at Western Carolina. And he played great. So hopefully he'll play like that again against the Wolfpack and kind of solidify himself. But I agree with you. Right now at corner, there doesn't seem to be a lot of clear-cut favorites. We have a lot, except for Rashid Reason from ODU. It looks like he's got a starting position locked down. Besides that, it seems to be a lot of competition at corner. So,
yeah.
But
yeah.
do feel good about safety. I do feel good about safety.
I do too, Kyle.
Who's going to the NC State game? Cindy wants to know.
I'm going.
A lot of people.
I'm going, and you know what? I would not go if I didn't think we had a good chance to win. I wouldn't go. I don't want to be in that environment, but I feel like we do have a good shot, so I'm going.
Like I said, I'll tell you what, right now.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You're not going, Kyle? You're not going?
No, I don't go to a lot of road games, and that atmosphere. I was at the bowl game. It was a fantastic atmosphere. Being in Raleigh with all Wolfpack fans probably ain't the best place for me. I will be at the Coastal Carolina game. I will be at the Coastal Carolina game. I will be making that road trip, but I am skipping state. I will see y'all at Campbell.
Hey, guys, I've got a stat for you, Johnny.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. Matt and Bubba, when they're at NC State on the sidelines, we're 1-0.
That's true.
We are also
Kyle. Tell him about it. Tell him. I know you know, Kyle.
We are undefeated against NC State.
We're 4-0.
4-0 when Damon Magazoo is either playing or on the sidelines at those games. We have never lost to NC State, knock on wood.
Yes, sir.
And I brought it up to him, by the way. Again, that's in the interview. If you want to go check them out on YouTube, just type in 2025 East Carolina Media Day, and that interview is up there. It also can be found on our Facebook page through a SoundCloud link if you just want to listen to the interview with Coach Mags. But I brought that up to him that we are undefeated with him in the game or on the sideline against NC State.
Kyle, did you ask him? Did you ask him? He does plan on going to that game, right?
Mags?
Yeah, he's going to the game in Raleigh, right?
He's the friggin' safety
coach.
He's coach.
I'm kidding. I'm saying.
I feel good. What in the world is going on with JR?
No, he's kidding.
As long as he shows up, I like our chances.
He's going to be safeties coach via Zoom. Dave, a few minutes ago, you put a stat up. Put the stat up. The punting numbers for the transfer from Duke/Furman that Bubba put up.
Bubba had it up earlier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Let me go back up. Y'all keep talking. I've got to scroll back up.
That kind of it gave his numbers from Furman.
Yeah.
And kind of what we can look forward to from him as a punter. But that NC State game is fast approaching, and people that really want us to dive into the NC State game, we'll start doing it more next Sunday night. But we'll have an official preview Wednesday before that NC State game on Thursday. We'll have a guest on, somebody from NC State, and we'll really take a deep dive into looking at them as an opponent versus just having a general conversation.
I heard you were getting Dave Doran, so we can give him a hard time, right?
Oh wow! All right, well, that'll be interesting.
That would be nice.
Dave, did you find? There we go.
I'm trying. Hold on. I got it.
Okay.
Here it is.
Ryan Levy, that's his name. 126 punts, averaged 40.4 yards per punt at Furman, so that's pretty solid. I would imagine he will be our starting punter.
All right, so they ask to Aaron's point about the linebackers. He says it seems like, let me go back. Seems like linebacker scares me the most on defense. Jonathan says to Aaron's point, how are we feeling about the linebacker? Actually, I'm feeling pretty good about the linebacker room. I think we'll be fine there.
I've heard Blake talk about that he has been very critical of our linebackers. It's kind of his baby for years. haven't heard a lot of talk from the linebackers, obviously, honestly. They seem pretty confident in our D-line, particularly the ends. They think we're going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. They seem confident in our safeties. The corners and the linebackers are, to me, what I think the question marks are. JR, Stevie, how do you guys feel about the linebacker rooms?
I mean, I look at it like this. If you're not hearing a whole lot about them, then it must be all right then. Because you would be hearing something about them if they were bad. I don't hear a whole lot about linebacker. Like you said, mostly the secondary is what I'm hearing about is a concern. But
Yeah.
I've
heard Blake talk about the linebackers. JR, what do you think about it?
What are my thoughts? My thoughts are, I'm sorry, Stevie.
No, go ahead, JR. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, this is the prime example of having too deep, like not a lot of separation, in my opinion. I mean, I feel good about Damian Wilson and Sam Dankoff, but, Matt's not here tonight, but, he made a good point. Sam's kind of lanky, and he's I think he's like 6'7". I was just like saying it's harder to get leverage to stop the run when you're that tall. You can't really get leverage, but he's been playing well. The backups, Jackson Barker is, from what I've heard, is just making incredible, strides in his game. And also DJ Johnson. So we got 4 guys there that can all play, and their coach is my neighbor. So I know he's a good guy, and I know he's a good coach. So I have faith in the linebackers.
So you don't have any inside info?
Say again, Stevie?
What's that?
I said, JR, you don't have any inside info on that?
No, I said, what happened? He won't give any inside info, and I don't blame him. He shouldn't. But hey, Dave, do you remember when I asked him, even though he's not the position coach, I asked him specifically, about see, here I go, Kyle. I can't remember his name. Demarius Hines. Yeah, the safe. Yeah. I asked him about his physical.
To be more clear, our linebacker
condition,
coach was Demarius Hines, high school coach.
He just really wouldn't.
Yeah, for me, I mean,
correct at Westlake in Georgia.
Yeah, I agree with you, Johnny. I think that
so
he didn't really. I think he knew, but he wasn't going to tell us. So injuries, they don't want to tell us.
He was not going to tell us.
Because it's like at first,
and I don't blame him,
Yeah, I feel like that. We'll have to. It's hard to say, but if I had my guess, I don't want to say.
I don't know why. Just to be quite blunt, I don't know why we haven't heard any more updates on Hines. At this point, they should have gotten MRI results, etc. I don't know what the secret is there. If they're not sure how long he's going to be out, then just say that. I don't know why we haven't got a injury update on Hines, but what JR was saying was, our linebackers coach was Hines's coach in high school, and he asked him about him, and he didn't have an update on his condition. So I don't know. Speculation doesn't sound good. So it could be a situation where they're still waiting to see if he's going to be out for the season or not. Maybe that's what it is. But at some point, we need an update on him. I don't understand why that's being kept so hush hush. You would think at this point they would have a diagnosis. It's been a week. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yep.
No, I agree, Kyle. Dave, did you catch when he said the surgery word? He said the S word, and then when I asked him about that, he quickly said, whoa, you should really talk to the trainer about that. I'm not his position coach. And I was like, yeah, but you're his high school coach. I'm sure you're closer to him than most people. And then I backed off because I could tell he just did not want to. He was uncomfortable with the question.
Yeah, that was the only one. I think that's the only one that I saw where you got some insight that maybe he didn't expect you to ask that question. And he, most of us, that's the thing about Johnny. Johnny, you're really hard on yourself, and you don't need to be, because most of us would have never known that stat about the teams and where they played like that. Some of us do. Some do, some don't. But that particular stat, it caught him off guard. It caught him off guard that you knew that, I think, for starters. Like, you were his high school coach, right? And he's like, yeah. Like, he just looked like he was like caught off guard. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But that's the way I felt. Like, he was not expecting you.
Well, clearly it's being kept hush-hush. If it wasn't, Blake Harrell would have addressed it in press conference, the status of Hines. So we could be waiting on the results of a surgery, it sounds like, or if he's going to go ahead with surgery. Sometimes you have an injury and you can play through it, and you wait on that surgery till after the year. So it could be that kind of thing where they're trying to see if he can get to the point where he can play through it. I don't know what the injury is. If it's an MCL, ACL type thing, he's going to have surgery. So we'll wait and see what the status is of Hines. But, he's somebody that looked like he was going to contribute this year. And unfortunately, he got injured. I have not, whatever happened at the scrimmage Friday night has been kept extremely hush-hush. By the way, guys, Anthony Smith was there yesterday, right? I didn't get a chance to interview him. Did you you guys got Ant. Okay, good. I was a little concerned because somehow I missed Ant. And I was like, to be sure, he didn't get injured at the damn scrimmage. But then I thought I saw somebody else pop up with an interview with him. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, he was talking smack about Kyle from LaGrange. How you put him in years, and yeah, he was.
Well, I tell him to.
No, he wasn't. Kenny says you'll get that.
Didn't you think that he was? I'm sorry. I said Anthony Smith. I felt like he was much thinner than I thought he would be, and he's got some nice ink.
Yeah,
he's inked up pretty well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great tats for sure, and he was very personable. With Yannick Smith, Anthony. We have Mike. I mean, there's.
Yeah, Yannick Smith. By the way, I asked him again. If you want to check out the interviews,
I had him too.
Well, here's what I asked him though. Go to YouTube and type in 2025 East Carolina Media Day, and you can find the interviews I did. It's on the Sports Objective channel. Or go to our Facebook page. I asked Yannick Smith, how much truth there was to the rumors that UNC went after him hard, and you can go listen to that answer that he gave me. That they try to get him to transfer and join his brother. You can go listen to that question and answer over on YouTube or our Facebook channel. But before you brought up Yannick, I was going somewhere else. Guys, what were we discussing?
Kyle, I've never called a man a tease before, but you're a tease.
Hey, well, you know what? Hey, that's trying to get people to go click and listen.
Yeah.
If they want to hear Yannick's answer, go listen to the damn interview. I'm not telling you. But I was going somewhere before I got sidetracked with the Yannick Smith stuff. Help me out, guys. I got it. I know where I was going. I figured it out. Another guy I interviewed, JD Lampley. And I asked JD about his legal issues, and he answered them. We did not get a straight answer on if JD Lampley and Brock Spalding and Carr, who got into some legal trouble, were going to play against NC State. But I kind of got the job that they were. It was never answered straight, but it sure felt that way. And to me, the fact that they had JD Lampley sitting out there to be interviewed indicates that I would guess he'll be playing against NC State. I asked him if he was going to be playing against NC State. And again, go find that interview on YouTube or Facebook and hear the answer for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Dave and I interviewed JD.
Yeah, we sure did.
And we were his first interview. It wasn't even time to interview yet. I said, "Hey, JD, are you up? You want to start early?" He's like, "Let's do it." And he was one of my favorites, by the way. I say that, but every one of them was my favorite. So, but JD was really cool. So I said, "Hey, I got one question to ask you that I'm dying to ask, and I got to start off with this." And his eyes got huge, like he knew what he thought was coming. But then I said, "So against Navy, you lined up at fullback and ran an out pattern, and you were wide open, and Garcia threw it over the head of Tyler Savage. I said, do you have any plans of doing any goal line packages this season? And he was like, I don't know. They haven't told me, but I really, really enjoyed that. And yeah, thank you for saying that, because I told him I was wide open. He said I wasn't, but he was a good dude. He was just a good dude.
Guys, we got breaking news. The game is all tied up, 1 apiece. Going into the extra time. It's at 90, so extra time. I don't know how much that will be, but it's 1-1. They're in Greenville, so we'll keep our eyes on the soccer game as NC State is coming to us tonight to play women's soccer. We'll return the favor on the 28th, and like to have 2 wins. So come on, ladies, pull it out.
Let's do it. Hey, wrapping up JD real quick, just wrapping up on him. Coach Tesh, he said, I asked him, and this was off the record. I asked him about those 3 guys, and he said, let me tell you. He said they were all demoted. They all dropped in the depth chart. And he said nobody gave anything to any of those guys. They all 3 worked so hard that they got their status back, and nobody gave it to them. Nobody's giving them a pass. They earned it. And, I don't know if they'll play or not, but I think he does. But they certainly, if they start that game, they've earned it, and nobody's giving them a free pass.
Yeah, that was Coach
Tesh.
Yeah, Tesh. Tesh is a great guy, of course, from Mebane, and he's a guy that's been here since 2019. He's still part of that staff from the first staff from Houston. If you remember, he started out as a special teams coordinator when he first came here, but the guy has been doing a great job at defensive line. And I like Roy Tesh. I'll tell you why I like Roy Tesh. He's the kind of guy that is really low key. And now when he's on that field, I've seen him. When he's on that field, he's not low key, and you don't want him to be giving milk and cookies to the team. But I talked to him about the fact of how he's been complimented, how he's getting a lot of guys in and out, the freshness of the players. And, I think I think the defensive line, I think our defense is going to be better than what we expect. Notice I didn't say it's a top 20 defense or a top 10 defense. But, Johnny, you know what Blake Harrell said? With about JDB.
Yeah. Well, you mean when I gave him that stat?
Yeah. Give that stat to our audience. I don't think they know that.
Okay. So I took Blake. I didn't take him to the side. He was just standing there and with a smile on his face, and there was nobody near him. He was just standing there smiling. And I was like, wow, man, this guy is so approachable. I'm going to approach him. And I did. And I said, hey, Coach Harrell, I said, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not. I said, but East Carolina is the only school in the nation, and the first since 2021 Penn State, to have a player on the Manning watch list, the Bolitnikoff watch list, and 3 players on the Doak Walker watch list. And he looked at me and he instantly said, well, then our offense better score 50 points a game.
No pressure, JDB, right? He didn't say that, but I did. No, I think.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we've talked about, the Bolitnikoff Award and the Doak Walker Award. We hadn't had a chance to talk about Caden Hauser being one of 27 quarterbacks on the Manning Award watch list. I haven't looked at the other 26, but I bet you there's another kid named Manning on that watch list. So my prediction is Arch. Yeah, my prediction is Arch Manning is going to win the Manning Award. But it is good to see, it's 27 quarterbacks, just 27. Think of 133, 34 FBS schools now. And Caden Hauser's one of 27 on the Manning Award watch list. So if he lives up to those expectations, meaning he's one of the 27 best quarterbacks in the country this year, we're probably going to have a really good season. So let's hope that happens.
That would be a great thing, especially I just feel like with the guys coming back that we have, I've said that the running game, I tell you what, Johnny, again, let's give credit where credit's due. That offensive line And Coach Maddox, man, oh man, oh man, are they not? They were just unbelievable. I just really love those guys because looking at them, we always talk about the offensive line, about how much smaller they look than other teams. But I will tell you what, if things are going the way I think they're going with the strength and conditioning, didn't you feel like that those guys were, like we talked about, it's not like having these big dudes, right? They're actually not only they big, but they're more athletic.
They're lean.
Yeah. All right, I have a question.
Lean, athletic looking big guys.
Matt says, Matt Redmond says, the real question is, did they have city speed yet?
City speed. We're still working. Well, you know what? We did get Mike Wright from Northwestern, which is in Chicago. So I guess that gives us some city speed.
Yeah, and he also was in Nashville. That's a nice city. Kenny says receivers, running back, and JDB. A lot of talk about the speed we have there, Johnny. There's some guys we have on there that can run 23 miles an hour, right?
Well, I know 22 plus. We have more players. Yeah, we have a lot of players that can do that. I think UNC only has like a handful. So we have the speed. We definitely have the speed.
Yeah, speed kills. And my question is, before we get into week 0, I got, we got part 1 of the interviews out. When the hell is part 2 coming out? Dave, you got to get those files over to Stevie so he can get them out on YouTube. So people can hear these interviews with JR and Dave and all these different coaches and players. So we'll try to have that out.
Try to do a show. I can't do a show, produce a show, and send those files at the same time.
Well, we'll try to have those. Well, you could. I mean, you can multitask. But we'll hopefully have those out by tomorrow or Tuesday, part 2 of Media Day. But let's get into week 0, guys, if you don't mind.
Do it.
So week 0 coming up Saturday, August 23rd. We have the start of college football season. From Dublin, Ireland, Kansas State and Iowa State, a top 25 matchup in the Big 12. Looking forward to that one. Other games of note from week 0, Fresno State will take on Kansas. That'll be on Fox. You got a pretty good matchup in Conference USA. Sam Houston State at Western Kentucky on CBS Sports Network. Stanford at Hawaii. Look for an upset there on CBS. I like Hawaii to pull off the upset. I think Stanford is going to be god awful. And then there's some FCS games. But those are the games of note of week 0, with your headliner being Kansas State and Iowa State. But I really do like Hawaii to upset Stanford.
Okay.
I just want to say,
go ahead, JL. Go ahead.
No, I spoke way more than you. I yield to you.
I just want, and I know me and Kyle have talked about this before. Week 0, why doesn't college football, the NCAA, make a bigger deal like this? I mean, I know there's some good matchups here, but why don't you have some better matchups than this, some high-profile games? I mean, you look at the NFL, they do the first week, the defending Super Bowl champions take on somebody. Usually it's a big rival, the first game. Why don't the NCAA take week 0 and turn it into a big deal? I mean, people have been waiting for college football for a while. Turn it into a bigger deal than what you got it now. If you're going to call it week 0, make it a bigger deal than what you got it now.
Well, here's the thing with that. Okay, so you used to have your kickoff classics, which were the equivalent of week 0. Week 0, the reason week 0 became a thing is because teams playing at Hawaii started being allowed a 13th game. So that's how week 0 kind of became a thing. And then the NCAA does allow one, premier matchup in Dublin, Ireland each year. So this year's Iowa State, Kansas State. What I would like to see for week 0, I'd like to see Army and Navy become a conference game.
Yeah, I agree.
In the American. And I'd like to see that be moved to prime time week 0 to start the college football season. You got this year Navy. When you talk about the contenders for the group of 5 spot in the playoff, Boise is the top team, but a lot of the times you hear Navy brought up as the number 2 team. to be competing for that playoff spot. Well, you could have Navy win the American, get a playoff spot, and then go lose the friggin' Army the following week.
Yeah.
So, last year, Army won our league, then lost to Navy the following week. I know tradition, Army-Navy last game of the year, but tradition is gone from college football. You want to make it special. To me, there's nothing more special. You make it the Daytona 500. JR, there's a racing reference for you.
There you go.
Of college football. Let's start the season with the biggest game. Let's start the season with Army-Navy, and then you also can make it a conference game. Just think.
I love that.
You're coming up on week 0, and the featured game for week 0 is Army-Navy. Every year you start the college football season with the premier game of the year, Army-Navy. I think it would be great. Johnny loves it.
Okay, here's my take. I want to rant too. Not on that, because I agree with you 100%. My rant is Farmageddon, Iowa State and Kansas State, that should not be played in Dublin, Ireland. I mean, come on. And by the way, that's the first matchup of 2 top 25 teams in week 0 since I think 2002. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good game, but it's Farmageddon. Let's keep it in the Midwest, not put in Dublin, Ireland.
There's a lot of farms in Ireland.
They're trying to do like the NFL, JR. You know, the NFL wants to go global more than they have, and I think the NCAA is following suit with it too, because they're seeing, you know, it's a audience for it. I'm like you. I wish it should be here, but you know, and I'm sure I'll probably tick off some foreign people out there, all our foreign viewers out there.
We have a huge viewership base.
Ireland, I know Ireland is one of our biggest demographics. It's big in our demographics, but you know.
Yeah, we've lost Ireland now.
Potatoes and all.
Appreciate it.
I love Ireland.
I love potatoes.
Ireland would probably be, you know, my top country to visit. I love Irish people, love Irish culture. So I'd love to see it. You know, I'd love to see East Carolina invited to play in a game in Dublin one year to start the season. I doubt it's going to happen, but I think that'd
be
an
NFL game going to Ireland this year too, because Pittsburgh's playing over there, I believe.
I think it'd be a cool ass trip. I've known people that have gone to Ireland and absolutely loved it. So anyway, we have a little different opinion on that.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, now that's good. That's good to have differing opinions. But I do have a comment on the Kansas-Fresno State game too. That is pretty interesting. Well, Kansas is supposed to be pretty good this season.
They're low. You know, Fresno's known for pulling off those upsets.
No, I get that, but this is the first home game for Kansas since November of 2023, because they refurbished their stadium, David Booth Memorial Stadium.
Where'd they play at last year? Chiefs Stadium?
Yeah, and now I'm not sure where they played last year, but now this stadium is supposed to be, and they've got some big donors all of a sudden, if you've noticed, for Kansas. They've got some big athletic donors. And so I'm looking forward to watching this game as well. I think Kansas will have their way with Fresno, but yeah, it's their first home game since 2023.
Hawaii upset Stanford, guys.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit, Kyle.
5-star locket. I don't even know what the line is in the game. Well,
that's special.
Well, I don't know what the line is in that game. If somebody could look it up real fast, but whatever that line is, you have it, Dave?
No. I have a question for you guys.
All right, go ahead. I'll look up that line while you ask the question.
Look it up. My question is, would you go to see ECU in Ireland? If we played in Ireland, would you go?
If I could afford it, if I had the money to go at the time, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, Stevie, get on the horn. Let's make that happen, man.
Matt Redmond was asking about Kansas State, how much they're getting paid to play in Ireland. $2.2 million.
Sign me up right now. I don't care if I can't go. No. Carolina.
Let me go carry a clipboard, and I'll get a little bit of that $2.2 million.
All right, so much for the upset, guys. Hawaii. The line is Hawaii is a 2.5-point favorite.
Would you go to Pirates?
So it ain't an upset. So
it ain't upset. Vegas agrees. Stanford's going to suck donkey balls. So Hawaii is a 2.5-point favorite.
Hey, Justice said Pirates in the Bahamas. Then I would definitely go to that one.
Yeah, that could happen this year. The Bahamas Bowl is out there.
Yeah.
As far as week 0, we might be fighting off a hurricane in the Bahamas if we go to the Bahamas right now.
How is the latest? All right, let's go to our staff meteorologist, Kyle Barber, when it comes to.
All right. Well,
Hurricane
Aaron. Latest I hear is it's going to pass right off the North Carolina coast. They have evacuated. They have put a mandatory evacuations in to Hatteras Island effective tomorrow. They want everybody off Hatteras Island because the storm. It is a huge storm, and it's a powerful storm. And while it's going to stay off the coast, they think there's going to be massive storm surge on Hatteras Island. And so they are very worried about flooding. I haven't heard of Ocracoke Islands being evacuated also, but I do know Hatteras Island is being evacuated because they are very concerned about flooding from the storm storm surge. Besides that, unless it comes a little further west than what they're forecast, I think we're just going to see some showers here in eastern North Carolina. Now a little shift west. Particularly for our friends at the Outer Banks, they could take a beating because it is a massive storm.
Yes, it is, and good luck. Hopefully, everything will go well for our folks on the Outer. One of my favorite places, like Kyle. I don't know about Stevie and Johnny, but Kyle and I love the Outer Banks. I do know that's one of the things we have in common. It's one of my all-time favorite places. I just think that it's. I know people may disagree with me. But I think it's underrated. I think it's very underrated as a beach. I really do. But
I don't know that it's underrated anymore. I think Outer Banks is becoming really well known. I think that stupid ass show, which is actually filmed in South Carolina, has created a lot of tourism for the Outer Banks. I was done. How do you really feel? I was done with that stupid ass show in season 1 when somebody took a ferry. Somebody took a ferry from the Outer Banks to UNC. Apparently
from
now
Chapel Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of eastern North Carolina is underwater now. You could have believed it if they said they took a ferry to ECU because you could see that maybe into Little Washington, but to Chapel Hill it was moronic. But the Outer Banks are great. I mean, I enjoy it. From Naxia, Kitty Hawk, the heart of the Outer Banks. Now, really, the busiest part of the Outer Banks is the northern Outer Banks, Duck, Southern Shores, Corolla. It's the Virginia Annex, basically. And then,
hey, Kyle, you and I agree that the two of the best features of the southern Outer Banks is Fish Heads and Coquina Beach.
Yeah, Coquina Beach, yes, we agree 100%. Fish Heads is, look, if you haven't ever been to Fish Heads, just go. Just go. I mean, the food's, it's a small menu, but the food's good and it's very reasonably priced. The drinks are good. It's on a pier. The atmosphere is unbelievable. One of the coolest atmospheres. Sometimes they'll have live music, just laid back, eating and drinking on the pier. Everybody's cool as shit. The waitresses are cute. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. And then Coquina Beach, JR, out on Highway 12, one of the best setups in terms of, changing areas, showers. And then the beach is not very busy. It's a beautiful beach. The only thing I would say negative about Coquina Beach is sometimes you really do have to watch out for the jellyfish and the sea lice. But it is a great beach. And then
there you go.
right over from Coquina on the other side of Highway 12 is the Bodie Lighthouse, which is also really cool to visit.
Very cool.
He says heading to Nags Head Friday morning after the state game for the weekend. We're going to see Drake, White, and Manio. I'll tell you what, I love their.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of Kenny.
How about what they've done with the amphitheater in Manio and then the amphitheater out in Currituck County? There's 2 amphitheaters there now. The farm out in Currituck County.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They Scotty McQuarrie's about to be there. ZZ Top's going to be there, I believe, in October or late September.
Oh, man.
They had
Johnny and I are going to that one then.
They had Brett Michaels and Quiet Riot was just there about a month ago.
Wow, I missed out.
Hey, Brett Rapids just reopened their amphitheater this weekend. Had Jamie Johnson.
Hey,
they did. They had Jamie Johnson. Alabama's coming up in September.
Yep.
And then I have tickets for
Skinnerd
at the Carolina Crossroads Amphitheater on October 3rd.
Hey, Kyle, what song is it you want to hear?
What song is that you want to hear?
By Skinner?
Freebird.
Don't you know the live album? I heard it then.
Honestly,
I knew
my
where
favorite.
you were going, Dave.
Thank you. I think Johnny did too because he's already laughing.
Well, okay, I didn't get it, but my favorite Leonard Skinner album or song is not one of their big commercial songs. It's a song called "Four Walls of Rayford."
Oh my goodness, Kyle, that's a great choice. Great choice.
Yeah, fantastic song. And then if you want to do commercial Skinnerd, probably "Needle in the Spoon" would be my favorite
second
song
album
that everybody knows.
The first, and I got to ask you a Carolina Crossroads question, Stevie.
Yeah,
help me out, brother, on this one. But the first two Skinnerd albums are masterpieces.
Right.
Not that I have anything against the original 5 albums, but the first two, I'll put them up definitely in, I'd say, top 20. I need to do a music podcast with you, Stevie, sometime. We can talk about that. But
I like the '87 tribute album.
They had.
Was that '87, Kyle?
Yeah, the tribute album was '87. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, they are great. And Stevie, question about Carolina Crossroads. So in 2007, we did a show, The Big Dog, 98.5.
No, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Dave. Stevie, are you talking about the country tribute to Leonard Skinner, or are you?
Okay, you're talking about the live album. Is that?
No, I'm talking about Leonard Skinner tribute. It was a studio release in '87. I think the album was called Tribute. You want to check and make sure, but it was a studio release in '87 with Johnny Van Sant singing lead, and I thought that album was really good. It's got a song.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one the other artists did. Like
no, I know that. I know the one you're talking about. No, I'm talking about the '87. I'm pretty sure it was called Tribute. It was their comeback album.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
that was a good
different
album.
than what I was thinking of.
Hey, I might be a little bit
called "When You Got Good Friends Like Me."
Yeah, I might be a little bit older than y'all. I'm not sure, but Johnny Van Sant on his own in the Johnny Van Sant band is just excellent. It's just absolutely stellar Southern rock and roll.
That was like 79, 80, JR.
Yeah, it was awesome. But as far as Leonard Skinner goes, I guess my favorite Skinner song that I mean the popular one would be "You Got That Right." I love that song. But
good one.
After the plane crash and they Skinner was reborn, I love "Red, White, and Blue."
Oh,
that's an awesome song.
You ever heard you on their I think it was it was either 96 or 97 album. Leonard Skinner had released a live version of a song called "Traveling Man."
Yeah.
And then they re-recorded it with Johnny singing lead, and then they pulled the vocals from Ronnie's live version. And so Johnny sings lead on half, Ronnie sings lead on the other half of the song. Have you ever heard that, JR?
No, but I'm gonna definitely listen to it after we end the show.
It's fantastic.
Hey, I'll say one thing. I was at New Year's Eve in Nashville. It was like negative 10 degrees that night. But yeah, it was the Kings of Leon.
Okay.
Did Tuesday's Gone with but they were doing it with oh my God. See, here I go with my name problem again. The guy that does oh shoot, I can't think of his name. He's awesome. Anyhow, it was great. It was great.
Spread to Johnny now.
Yeah, exactly. My names are not my strength.
What genre of music is it? Is it rock?
Country. He does like the Tennessee Whiskey.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Chris Stapleton.
Thank you.
Everyone.
It was him and Kings of Leon doing Tuesday's Gone, and I got a little salty. You know, it hit me hard. I was like, wow.
You know, my favorite cover of Tuesday's Gone is Metallica's cover of it. They covered it on Garage Inc. And did a really good job covering Tuesday Gone. Speaking of concerts, this past Monday night, we're off topic here. We're going to wrap things up here in a minute. But this past Monday night, I went to Virginia Beach to the Dome Great venue, by the way. I would recommend anybody go check that venue out. Really well laid out, really well thought out, and there's a parking garage connected to it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No stress environment. But I really enjoyed seeing my boy Cody Jinks for the 8th time. I again encourage everyone, check out Cody Jinks. If you don't like modern country music on the radio, but you like country music and you miss, he doesn't have that 90s sound. Some of his stuff does. Cody, to me, the best way to describe Cody Jinks is traditional country music with heavy metal lyrics. Yeah. That's the best way I know to describe Cody Jinks. And seeing him for the 8th time in Virginia Beach was fantastic. Looking forward to seeing him for the 9th time. And I think he'd be somebody really good for Carolina Crossroads to have the amphitheater, because he's very much somebody that has a cult following.
Yep.
He is going to have his fans show up. If you're within 100 miles radius of Cody and he's going to be within 100 miles of your town and you're a Cody Jinks fan, you're going. That's just how we are. I'll run into a lot of the same fans over and over again at Jinks shows. So I had a great time seeing him at Virginia Beach, and would encourage anybody to go check out that venue. It's called The Dome, and it's one of the better new venues I've been to in a long time.
So, Stevie, speaking of venues, you like that seg there? Stevie, so in 2007, I was literally, my boss got me to be the big dog, so I had to be the mascot for our station, and had good seats the whole 9 yards. I'm back.
The Big Dog is a country station out of Rocky Mount, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
98.5 WDWG FM. So he said he paid me really good money, gave me VIP seats. He did not want to be the big dog. It was August of 2007. It was 95 degrees, like even after the show. It was one of those ridiculous nights. And of course, I have the wonderful big dog outfit, the costume, whatever the hell you want to call it. And anyway, I was telling Kyle that that year when they had that show was called The Last of the Breed.
You're talking about Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, and Ray Price.
Yeah,
at Carolina Crossroads.
And I went there, and I was told, and so I want you. You're up that way.
I don't believe you at all. Let me rephrase that. I believe you, but I do not believe, not for a single effing second, that there was 40,000 people there.
It was. That's what I was told, because
bullshit.
I find it hard to believe in Runt Rapid at that amphitheater.
Hey, Walnut Creek holds 20,000. You're talking about twice the crowd.
Well, they had.
I'm sure it's a big crowd, but I don't know about 40,000.
I mean, right now, I think the current setup, at least for reserved seats, is 5,000. I don't know how many the lawn holds.
That's what they did before.
But
I mean, it was like nothing but people for a long. It was more than just like a small amphitheater setting. But anyway, that was one of the best shows. And to see those three gentlemen behind this, back behind the stage, and it was true about Willie's bus. Thank you, Kyle. And I didn't have to be close to Willie's bus to know. Actually, Willie's modern now. He's into gummies, so I understand. So I guess you won't have to worry about that smoke anymore. But anyway, let's see. Okay, John White's. Ocracoke is under mandatory evacuation. That's
I figured Ocracoke would be for 1 hour ago. I know Hatteras was announced. I figured Ocracoke would also be, because if they're concerned about flooding from storm surge at Hatteras, they would be at Ocracoke also.
All right. So do you guys have anything before we go? I know we're over time, but Johnny.
I got something.
All right.
Should we see? I was going to say we should save this to the next show, but we really can't, because time is definitely a factor here.
Yeah,
time is on your side.
We want to start a fantasy football league with TSO followers, listeners, and I know Matt's in, his son Chase is in, and Stevie's in, and I'm in. And we would love to have, we have room for 8 more listeners. So if anybody's listening and they want to be in it, what's the best way? How could they contact us? I'm not sure.
Oh, it's very easy. thesportsobj@gmail.com.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
you
Johnny,
want in?
Johnny, are you running this fantasy league?
I thought
I'm the damn commissioner. What are you talking about, Kyle?
Let's get Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny. All right,
okay,
Johnny. All right, so let's forget the sportsobj@gmail.com. Johnny, look, how do they contact you? You're running the league. Let's give your contact information, how you prefer to be contacted, giving it out publicly, whether it's Facebook Messenger or an email account.
I don't care. Like I'm open to phone number, email.
All right, well, give out how you want to be contacted. That's going to make
give
most
out
sense.
Johnny's phone number. Come on now.
He's like,
I don't care.
What's your email, JR, so people can contact you if they want to join the family?
Okay, if you want in this league, and it's going to be good, man, I'm telling you. And every week we'll do a recap. JRR29 at gmx.com. JRR29 at gmx.com. Send me an email. We'll get you in the league, and we're going to have fun.
That's JRR29 at gmx.com.
You got it.
There you go. Email Johnny Robinson if you want to participate in fantasy football.
There
you go.
Sorry, email. Sorry, I said call.
Yeah, call him.
I thought he was going to give the email. I thought he was going to give phone number. Sorry.
Email JR, but there you go. You got the email.
He gives out his phone number. Good Lord, JR. Don't give out your phone number. There's no telling what kind of calls you're going to get.
Hey, I don't mind that at all.
He's a salesperson, and like he sells for a living, so you might get some salespeople to call or some sales out of it, Johnny. You never know. Let me just say this really fast. I knew about the fantasy part, but I thought it was going to be Team Johnny versus Team Matt. Like you have two teams, like a different. No. I read that wrong, or I read that wrong.
We're not going that way.
I thought it was going to be fantasy football involved in the lingerie football league, and a completely different kind of fantasy. But since that's not the case, I'm not in.
I don't know how the points would go on that though.
They sit up high and stick out.
Kyle, you can be the commissioner of that league. So,
all right, sounds good.
So if you want to be a part of
hey, Stevie,
get in contact with you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Stevie, the points sit up high and they stick out. That's how the points go in that league.
Oh my Lord!
Wow. All right, it's been a lot of fun, and if you want to know our predictions for ECU NC State, that'll be a week from Wednesday. We have
we'll dive into it next Sunday night some, but the official preview with someone from NC State will be Wednesday the 27th. But of course, next Sunday night, it's game week, so next Sunday night should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and not only that, we'll have some other shows we'll be adding. So in the midweek shows, we'll have that, the press conference, a lot of different things we'll have to keep you.
Has Landis and Paul indicated if they're going to do a show or not?
They are. We've got to get back up with them about that. We've got some other surprises that we haven't talked about yet. So, Kyle, I'm sure you're going to do your own show. Kyle and Lee.
And you know what? I think Wednesday and Sunday is enough for me as of right now. If we decide to add anything else involving myself, we will let the public know.
So Stevie and Kyle are not doing a show this year?
Not as of right now. Not a week.
Kyle boycotted me. You want
me to do the show with you, Stevie? I'll do the show with you.
We actually have a show coming out soon on the Final Score. It's me and Kyle and Matt. It's all about the career of Matt Semenza. So baby girl.
Yeah, that's a one-off episode. To be clear, that's a one-off episode.
See how he's distancing himself from me, Dave?
Oh, no, I'm not distancing myself at all. Well, you said we have a show coming out, but we did.
Final Score, though.
Yeah, on the Final Score, we did record a show with Semenza talking about his career at East Carolina about a month ago. Stevie will get it out at some point. And when we were
50 Shades of Shade.
When we release it, when Stevie releases it over on his channel, the Final Score, we will promote it on the Sports Objective to talk about Matt's career. But me and Stevie did a show together called Just Another Sports Podcast. I wouldn't mind doing that. Maybe do 2 episodes a month. Maybe doing it every other week. No promises just yet. But that might be something we bring back on a bi-weekly basis.
Yeah.
How about you fans out there that love that show? Then you need to write letters, emails, call Johnny. Johnny, I'm sure will take phone calls that you want the show back, right, Johnny?
Absolutely. Get my number out.
All right. 555-1212. 703 It's 703-555-1212. Call Johnny if you want to see that show with Stevie and Kyle back, and let them know the league.
What the hell does JR have to do?
Hey, I've already got an email. Hold on. I got breaking news. I've already got an email from John White. He wants in this league. He wants to win it. We can't let that happen, though.
John White's going down.
Yeah, he's a great pitcher, but what about fantasy football? We'll find out. And is that going to be like? So is this like Pirates, individual Pirates, or you make your own team, or how does that work?
It's NFL. It's NFL.
Oh, NFL. Oh, I thought we were doing a. Oh,
okay. Yeah, you have to draft players, and then you calculate the points each week.
Yeah, I thought that like Pirate Radio does that with college, so with ECU. So
no, if you want to play NFL fantasy football, email JR at JR. What's the email account?
Email me. I have a feeling John White may be a ringer. I'm not sure.
There we go. Right there.
A ringer. How did he be a ringer?
JRR29@gmx.com.
No, don't call me.
Call that on your phone too.
I told you 703-555-1212. Call Johnny now. Operators are standing by. Hey, you know what, Johnny? You actually having that name Johnny, Johnny the Greek Robertson. We could have.
Now having the name Johnny. Hey, I don't want to.
Robertson.
Hey, I don't want to like prolong the show or anything, but I just want to say something quick. I did tell Clip Brock that I really feel like he gave me that name, Johnny Stats, and I hated it at first. And for the record, I've never called myself Johnny Stats ever. But I do feel like it cultivated people like being aware that I have some crazy stats like cooking up, and I just gave Clip Brock credit for like sending me in the right direction. So hats off to him, and Steve and Igo too. Igo's awesome.
Yes, they both are, and Johnny Stats is definitely better than Johnny Football. But
yeah, I agree.
You're definitely close.
But hold on a minute. Johnny Garner is Johnny Basketball, though, and I don't want. There's no doubt about that. Oh Johnny Basketball is Johnny Garner, so I don't want any confusion there.
Yeah, two great Johnnies.
No, what we got to do is get Johnny Gardner and Stevie to do a show together. And,
I would, Kyle. I would never miss an episode. I've already told Johnny Garner. I've already told him. If you did a podcast, I would never miss an episode.
Johnny Garner,
so you want Johnny Garner to do one, but you won't do one with me.
Have you ever talked to Johnny Gardner?
Huh?
I love his approach. I love his attitude. Hey, Kyle, you're his brother, man. You're his soul brother. You two are very much alike as far
Johnny
as.
Gardner?
Yeah.
But the reason I want Johnny Garner and Stevie to do a show together is because their voices. I
agree. I love that. I love it.
It would be the most country podcast ever.
I'm going to get one of those devices that every time I say something, it says it in a robot voice, so Kyle can't talk about my accent anymore.
I love it, dude. I love your accent, Stevie. And Johnny Garner saying, Johnny Gardner's very much like this right here.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. I tell you what, Stevie flies. That's not the best Johnny Gardner, but that's kind of how he talks.
Pretty good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Him and Stevie together, that would be epic.
Yeah, that's why I like going by JR, because I feel like Johnny Garner, he's the Johnny. He really is.
And another Northeastern North Carolina boy. Northeastern North Carolina kind of dominates this thing with me and Dave and Stevie. And
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Johnny Garner, for sure.
Johnny's Northern Virginia, so it all works out.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. JR's in Northern Virginia, which is the suburb of where Stevie lives.
Upper Virginia, Kyle. Upper Virginia.
Okay, yeah, you're in the Blue Ridge. So
Stevie, you had in Lasker, you had the president, didn't you, recently on Friday?
President? What?
Yeah, the president was in Lasker.
Okay, yeah. I got you, Dave. I got you.
I thought about you when I was going to Busch Gardens. I was coming back there. I said, "Damn!" Even Kyle's got me thinking about how you're in Lasker, and Lasker just keeps going up north and north.
Well, we were driving back from Virginia Beach Monday night, And Jessica goes, "There's the exit for Rich Square." I said, "What the hell you wanted? Stevie's asleep. It's like 12:30 in the morning."
Y'all gonna try to wake me up? I'm gonna be waiting for you. Would
there's no need for all that, Stevie. There's no need.
I don't know you, Robert. Oh, another compliment for Kyle.
Kyle's not going to be able to come back on the show anymore.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, brother.
He's going. Kyle's going to do his solo album, kind of like Kiss. They did their all
You know, I like to. You know, I know solo. I just like to be the featured act.
Oh no! Yeah, please put that up, Dave. What are you talking about, Justin? I hope you are not in Wilson Friday night.
Oh,
it's Justin officiated.
If you're in Wilson Friday night, I would get zero.
They horrible. They blew up. They blew up.
It's got to be Justin then.
Oh my God!
I was worried that we hadn't heard from Justin, but now I can go to sleep comfortably tonight.
So yeah, and evidently I'll be seeing Justin Butts Friday night if he's talking about a horrible referee crew.
Have you been thrown out by Justin? Is that you got some bad blood?
I think I've got a few. I think I've got a flag. One of my 2 flags. I think Justin threw them. Oh, so
really?
he's gone. He's not there. So it'll be all right if he's not there.
He's at South Lenore. Is that South Lenore?
I guess that's what he's
either that or St. Louis.
Justin, did you throw a flag on me? I mean, I'm curious to know. I can't remember.
Another one.
Because I think I did tell Justin one time that.
Yeah, it's sort of high school football season for most.
At Wayne Christian, no. I've only had 2 in my life. Wayne Christian won't one of them. Last year, I told one of the referees, "I'm tired of doing your job for you," and I got a flag for that.
Wow.
But high school football. Go ahead, Stevie.
Go ahead. No, I thought that was pretty tame, but he didn't agree with me.
Well, once he threw the flag on you, you should say, "Well, if you're going to throw a flag on me, then blow me."
Whoa!
Give him a reason. Majority of high school football starts this Friday. Stevie, Northeast Academy is going to be playing at Community Christian in Wilson. So who does Martin County play this week?
We are at North Pitt.
North Pitt. There you go, Martin County at North Pitt. So are you calling that game, Dave?
I will be doing yes, I will. I'm the voice of the Gators, 3rd year. So,
and where can people listen to that if they want to?
They can listen to it on. There's a small FM translator, if you will, 92.1 FM. If you're locally in the Williamston, Martin County area. If you're not, then you can simply listen to radio900.net. Radio900.net is our website. You can just click on there and listen live. And Justin says he'll be at Kinston. He's going to be in Kinston Wednesday for
JV South Lenore Friday. Well, so you get Deep Run on Friday. Nothing like a Friday night in Deep Run.
Please beat North Pitt, Dave. Well, I wish I could, but I can't do it by myself.
Go Gator.
That's right. Go Gator. Yeah, we actually have how would you like this, Cal? Our 4th head coach in 4 years, and we've still had winning seasons, but four coaches in 4 years, 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years, 4 offensive coordinators in 4 years. Thankfully, I'm one of the only thing. This is my 3rd year, so I hope they don't fire me after this year. So,
do you think it's Shane Scarper running everybody out of town?
Is who?
I don't know the douchebag's name.
Scalpy. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Is he running everybody out of town?
No, it's just a matter of
that is the complainingest human being I've ever seen in my life. I've never. I mean, he needs to get laid desperately.
Oh my God.
He has a wife.
That doesn't mean he's getting laid.
Well, the subject matter we talked about pregame. Maybe you can do that. So, anyway, Stevie said I got to pay. Oh, he's back. Oh, hey, Stevie, he's back. Hey, Forrest Gump. I love that. That's one of my favorite movies.
You should have liked that shot at Shane, Dave, as much as he dislikes you.
Well, it is what it is. Like I have, but I literally have better things to do, and it's only because I wouldn't be his puppet. So, well, no, that's true. It's a true story.
I mean, look, I'll be honest, and I really need to get off his page because I don't live in Martin County. But he is the complainingest white boy I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen somebody move, mother trucker, move. Nobody's keeping your ass in Martin County. Move. That's all I'll say about that.
Oh my God. Let's see. Justice says, Stevie, I saw where you got Wayne Prep on the schedule. I believe that's a win.
Yeah, but Justin, for some reason, they're not on our school schedule anymore, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah. So we had 8 games and now we got 7, and Wayne Prep's not up there anymore. So I don't know what happened there.
So you're not playing them?
I mean, according to the school schedule, no, we're not. But that could change.
What is your closest game to me? Is it Wilson this Friday, or is there something closer?
Probably Wilson, because Pungo is in Belhaven. There's a Lee Christian that's in Sanford.
Yeah.
Good Lord, you play in Sanford?
Yeah, that's 3 hours.
That's like a damn playoff. That's a playoff game.
Yeah.
Playoff.
Well, Belhaven's not really that close either.
Playoffs.
Yeah, Belhaven is not close either.
What else you got, Stevie?
Let's see. I think that's Columbia. So
y'all playing Columbia?
Yeah, we're playing Columbia.
Yeah, so Wilson's going to be the closest unless you do have Wayne Prep on your schedule.
Justin knows the schedule better than I do.
Well, when the hell are you going to find out for sure if you're playing Wayne Prep or not?
Stevie,
I don't think it's going to happen, Kyle. I mean,
that sucks. I would have went to that.
You know what Justice said?
What?
That he's doing your job.
Yeah, about time a referee did his job. I mean, all these years I'm doing their job for him, and he's trying to do my job.
Stevie.
I'm just lessing Justin. You know I am.
We're
Stevie.
Why don't you guys play?
You got to put the T in Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, it's like flowers are wilting.
Stevie, why don't you guys play Bethel Christian?
Bethel, you talking about in
Kinston? Yeah,
we used to. And then their program was they were really good for about 2 or 3 years, and then it just went kaput, and they started canceling games. So I don't know if they've got a football team this year. Last year, I don't think they did. Yeah, Justin's confirming that for me too. Yeah, because we were competing with them.
Okay, they dropped their team. Okay.
Yeah, for a couple years.
Well, that'd probably be a good win then if they don't have a team.
Yeah. Wayne Christian would whip that butt. We all know what happened that night, 2020, Justin, at Northeast Academy when we scored with like 1 minute and 40 seconds left to win the championship. So, now I'm not rubbing it in or anything, but Wayne Christian Wayne Christian has moved up to 11 man. So,
well, I guess they would.
Yeah, yeah. So, we've got 13 guys.
You got a basketball team, right?
Well,
that's what I used to say about when Eastern North Carolina School for the Deaf, and we had a football team. My job, we never got a flag for too many men on the field because all I had to do was count how many were behind me.
On the sideline.
5 behind me. All right, we never, in 3 years of football, we never got a flag for too many men on the field.
I'll tell you what, I know we're going on. I'll tell you what, it's a shame, and it'll tell you how high school football is right now in some areas, that a team that just won the state championship 2 years ago with the same coach is not able to field a team this year, and they only had 3 players come out for football.
Yeah, all these kids now, particularly of the Caucasian variety, are a bunch of panty waste. And the parents are a bunch of panty waste. They're scared to let them to play football. And that's why these private schools aren't fielding teams anymore. So I don't know. They all want to play soccer or either Fortnite. So I get out there and play football, boys. Little brain damage ain't never hurt anybody.
Yeah, nothing like CTE, right? Play bear grass next week.
Yeah. I had a few. Back in the day, when you got a concussion, back in the day, it was just called getting your bell rung. Because I know I probably had at least 3. Because everything just lit up. But you toughed it out. I'm not saying. I'm sure some people have effects of it. I don't really. I haven't felt any effects from it. I'll put it that way. I'm not going CTE or anything like that.
Yeah, look, here's the deal, and we're about to get off of here, but there are so many safety protocols now. You're taught to tackle right. All the kids protect their heads. People need to let their kids play football. And like I said, I'm being honest. It's white folk. And that's why these private schools are struggling to fill teams, because these parents, these late my generation, the last of the Gen X and the early millennials who are now the parents to their kids playing, are scared to death to let their babies get hurt. And they sit around playing Fortnite all day, and they're scared to go play football. And that trend needs to stop. And let's get some kids out there. There's, breaking your nose or your arm is a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage.
Dude, I can remember playing more violent games in the backyard without pads on than I did with pads on. But that doesn't happen anymore either.
You want to talk about a high-scoring game? Watch 8-man football. Woo!
I hope it's not too high scoring this year. I'll put it that way.
I told you, Stevie, just go deep every time. Just go deep the whole game. Just repeatedly,
Hail
just
Mary,
go deep.
Hail Mary every
Oh my
play.
God, I got to get off here. I was getting ready to say something.
You know, Stevie, you do know an interception is as good as a pick.
I forgot about that. Yeah, interception is just as good as a pick, Kyle. You're exactly right.
It sure is. The other night I was talking to Stevie and I said, just go deep. I was trying to say an interception is as good as a punt.
Oh.
I said an interception is as good as a pick.
Yeah.
And
like,
it's true.
what?
It's undeniable.
What are you
It is
talking about?
undeniable. An interception is as good as a pick. It's undeniable.
You didn't lie. You really didn't. Yeah, Justin, I did see where Parrott beat Evangel Christian. And I think that was in did they go to Tennessee? Was that in Tennessee?
It's
30
possible.
game win streak, 30 plus. Wow.
Yeah, Parrott a couple years ago, because they became big and bad at the private school level. You have to look back when this was. It was maybe 2018. Played Kinston High and got their brains beat in. So that was a one-time thing.
Yeah, Matt. I know Matt up there coaching at Parrott. Matt's a good guy.
Yeah, they got a good program, but I mean, you talk about. I'm surprised that, anyway, we'll get off this topic. We need to wrap it up.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up, Kyle.
Hey, Johnny, are you still awake?
Warm it up, Chris.
Johnny, are you still with us?
We've been going for 2 hours.
Right. Of course I'm still with us. I'm just listening and enjoying the show.
Okay.
We were supposed to wrap
I
this
don't
up.
always have an opinion. Sometimes I just like to listen.
All right, so it's 10 o'clock, guys, 10:01. We're going to be back next week, next Sunday night. We're going to be breaking down NC State. We'll also have next Wednesday, we'll have our official preview of NC State. And Dave, you go ahead and do your official wrap-up.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll get out of here. Thank you for we had a ton of listeners and viewers tonight. Thank you so much.
Ran them all off in the end.
Yeah, we ran them all. But we'll get out of here. Have a great rest of what's left of your weekend. And if it's Sunday night, it's TSO. We'll see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. See you later. Go Pirates.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.